To become an Olympic athlete takes a lifetime of sacrifice, training day and night to reach the pinnacle of your sport. And for most of us, winning an Olympic medal, whatever the color, would be a dream come true. But for our next guest, coming second was actually one of the lowest points of her career. Let's ask her why and why she wrote a book about it. Vernon won a silver medal for Great Britain in rowing at the Beijing Games in 2008. She's also a two-time rowing world champion and the author of the new book, Mind Games, Determination, Doubt and Lucky Socks, an insider's guide to the psychology of elite athletes. She joins me now from Cornwall. Annie, good to have you on the Newsmakers. I guess there's a lot of stuff done about the psychology of winners and what their recipe is and what the winning formula is. Nobody really looks at what missing out looks like, feels like, and what that whole process is. Is that one of the reasons why you wrote the book?
I guess in elite sport, there's a spectrum of experiences. There's the people who achieve everything and it's fantastic and it's wonderful. And there's people who perhaps come up short. And actually the number of people who don't quite achieve their goal is far, far bigger than the tiny handful who make it. So I suppose I wanted to show every side of the story and reveal really that failure is an integral part of success. And the book looks at very broadly across elite sport at all the mental attributes and how they're trained and how they're developed. Nobody is born a champion. You're made through all of your experiences.
Yeah, and I want to address that because when I was growing up playing sport, well, not very well. I tried to be many things, but I didn't end up becoming professional. I was always told that you either have a kind of BMT, big match temperament, or you don't. You're either stone cold like a psychopath and you can score the penalty in front of a crowd of 100,000 people, or you're going to freeze and screw it up. And you're born with that. It's innate. You can't nurture it. Is that wrong?
That's absolutely not true. And I think anybody who reaches the top of elite sport will tell you that's not true. Nobody is born with mental toughness in the same way that you're not born with the ability to hit the perfect putt in golf or to ride a bike around a velodrome or to kick a football like Messi does. Nobody is born with the ability to do that. Everybody is made. You train and develop your physical skills in exactly the same way you train and develop things like confidence. Confidence isn't just there from when you're born. You learn about confidence. You learn how to develop it so it's robust under pressure, so it's there when you need it. And I think the thing in elite sport, much as in life, you carry on making mistakes right up until the last act of your career, the last sporting championships you attend. You will still make huge fundamental errors because we're human, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're fallible, we're not perfect, and we will carry on being imperfect until the day we die.
And I wonder, are we in a good era to talk about all of this? Because a few years ago, you wouldn't find many athletes coming out saying, actually, I feel depressed, I'm mentally fragile, I couldn't take the weight of expectation. So is this a good time to start to explore all of the emotions and all the complexity that goes into elite sport? Whereas in the past, it was either you sort of G yourself up and you motivate yourself, or we don't talk about losing. We tuck that away and we lock it up.
I think so, yeah. I think in life people accept there's a more nuanced approach to things like mental health and dealing with failure and that word resilience. I mean, resilience, you never heard that word up until about 10 years ago. And now in every single school, it's a key part of the skills they try and get the kids to develop. So absolutely, I think there's a more complex picture going on in psychology, in society, and sport really is just a microcosm of that. It's just a microcosm of what's happening in the outside world. I think the reason that sport's so interesting is it puts all those human attributes to test. So it tests them in a real intense environment.
I wonder, do you want young athletes to read your book? And if you do, what do you want for them to take out of it?
I would love young athletes to read my book and realise that they never have to have all the answers, and they won't have all the answers. And the idea that you might, if you haven't got it by the time you're 16, you'll never have it. I think that's absolute rubbish. And I hope that young athletes will read it and realise that actually elite sport, you make mistakes and you laugh at yourself and you fall over and you get up and you try again. So I hope that people realise that sport is, even at the elite level, it's such a complex place to be and such an exciting place to be. But this idea that once you get to the international level, you don't feel nerves anymore, you never get nervous, or you never doubt yourself, or you never make fundamental errors. Not true. You do all of these things right up until when you become a multiple Olympic champion.
And would you like for your approach to your expertise as a former elite sports person, would you like for that to be seen as a microcosm for other things in life, that you can apply this to other things?
Yeah, for sure. I think that sport gives us so many lessons about how to approach life, how to approach business, how to approach relationships. And I think there's so much there, particularly around, say, confidence. We talk a lot about confidence in the workplace, particularly with reference to men and women who build and scaffold their confidence quite differently. And in sport, those studies have been done, and it shows that, yes, on confidence, men and women do build their confidence differently. They look for different things from their coaches, from their managers. So I think all of these lessons transfer across into life, and absolutely, we can learn so much from sport to make us more robust, more resilient, better motivated in life.
Annie, good to have you on the Newsmakers. Thanks so much for joining us.